Okay, let's talk about Web Builder. We're going to go through just some basic overviews of how the agent site works, what's included on the agent-specific sites, and the templates that are coming up, and then how to move things around, edit some pages, just a real quick overview. Probably 15 or 20 minutes, but it gives you an idea of how to work through that system. So we're on the MyConnect system. We're on our home page here. Again, home, my home, we see all of our little tiles. We're logged in, we see our picture up on the right-hand side. So from here on the front tiles, we've got a thing called Web Builder. So when we click on Web Builder, it opens up this specific link. Typically that link will take maybe 5 to 7 seconds to generate because we're building all of the Web Builder tools around the interface so you can actually work on your site when you can see it more like it's live. So give that a few seconds to kind of churn and build itself, and then you're going to end up with this. So you're going to see from here exactly what your search looks like, what your site looks like. You can scroll down, see your branding, see your featured listings, your solds, see the section about you, and then some more branding and contact information at the bottom. So let's go through these things piece by piece so you understand kind of what's on your specific agent site. You know you're logged in up here where it says Hi Jim. To get to the actual tools to build things on the site, we just click this button, and then our settings come up, and our different pieces that we're going to walk through in a few seconds come up as well. Already on this site are several pieces. So you have the same search built into your site as the company search. You've got some buyer and seller information. You can get rid of those if you'd like to by just clicking the little trash can. Or we can add sub-pages underneath. We'll get to that in a few seconds. You've got a services link. You've got all those different communities. All of those pages and that whole system is built into your site as well. So you have all that content ready to go. So you can have people search through communities on those 73 communities that we showed you back in Module 1 for the corporate site. You can have them do that while they stay on your specific site. And you've got a bunch of your own links. And so Jim's got a whole bunch of links that he's already built here. So we're going to go through one or two of those today. First, let's talk about what's on the site. You can see that the Omni bar on the front is exactly like the Omni bar on the front of the corporate site, except that you can't search by other agent names. So here, if I type in Tracy, which was the example we used earlier, I'm missing the two agents that are named Tracy, and I just see Tracy City or things that are Tracy Street, and then I can search from there. So if you're on a specific agent site, we've taken out the ability to search by other agents on your site to make sure your leads stay persistent and stay on your site. You've got the AVM down here at the bottom. So we've got a spot here for the street address. Just start typing in. It goes in as long as you put in the street address and zip code. That's all you need to do a search. These leads will show up and start showing up in a report on the back end of the system next week. And so you can see who's been running those reports there. As you scroll down a little bit, you've got some branding. Now the branding, because we added this AVM piece here, has moved to a little bit below the fold. So if you're looking here, you've got a little bit off the page. There are more templates coming in the next couple of weeks. We wanted to just launch with one so you can get familiar with how the system works, and this is the simplest one that there is. The other templates coming have agent profiles in the middle of the page, have agent profiles to the top of the page, and then you can have some selective move things around as well. So there'll be opportunities to pick a template that has a little bit higher and more prominent agent branding attached to it. So if I scroll down here, I've got my featured listings. So Jim doesn't actually have 3 times 4 tabs, 12 listings, but what we've done is we've combined listings from his own listings and his office listings to create kind of a featured listing gallery that's a little bit better than just having one listing. So part of the advanced training will be to show you how to pull listings out if you don't want to show all the office listings. And so that'll be part of the advanced training over the next couple of weeks. But for now, everybody's gallery of featured listings looks pretty robust. And then sold listings, these are a snapshot. He's got 400 or 500 sold listings that are within the MLS data that we pulled. And we're just pulling a snapshot of about 12 of those or so. And then if he would like to designate which ones show up on this gallery, Remember, everything shows up when someone clicks view my listings and view all my sold listings. Okay, so people can still get to your entire sold gallery, but if he wants to modify this, that'll be part of some advanced training as well. Pretty easy to do, to go in there and add listings to the sold gallery. So when we did the profile and we looked at Jim's profile, where his picture was and his biography, that showed up on his specific agent page, as agent profile page on the corporate website. It also shows up here on the front page of his own website. So it pulls from the same bio area. And so this About Me section, you can drop in some video, put in a gallery, you can put in source code for HTML, you can kind of align text, make bullets, do all the stuff that you would normally do with like a Word doc or a more advanced web system. And then that comes from the actual biography itself. So we scroll down to here, we've got more Jim branding. And then over here, we've got a contact information form as well. So his agent logins down at the bottom, if he needs that, that just goes to the My Connect system. And then if Jim had his QSC stuff ranked and activated, his star ratings would come up in here, and then that would show some testimonials and a quick link back to the QSC profile page for Jim as well. So I'm going to scroll back up. So that's kind of the basics. So if Jim never does anything to the site, just make sure that his bio is correct. The site's pretty robust. I mean, he's got this whole community section, a whole bunch of different text over here. He's got a lot of stuff on the site that makes it look pretty decent. But if he wants to add some pages and add some personality and make this a little bit more his own, then I'll show you how to do that. So again, we're on the site here. How did we get here? We were on the front page of the My Connect system, and we went to Web Builder, and it opened up Jim's page. And I know that I'm logged in because I see this little toggle that allows me to look at my settings icons. So let's start on the left. Simplest form, this settings lets you manage your home flash, which is basically this home picture. So right now it's a photo rotation. If you want to add to that photo rotation, you click Manage Home Flash. You click I want a new one. We title it Great Napa Vines. And then we choose the file, and we ask that the file be 1600 by 800. And we ask that so the resolution stays the same, so the look and feel of the files stays good, so the look and feel of your site looks really nice, and it fits within those proportions. So image resolution 1600 by 800. And if you would like to make it the first slide, just click on 1 for order. Maybe you want to make it the second slide, click on 2. So choosing a file will just open up your browser window. Pretty straightforward. Click on one that works and then hit save, and then that should be active within a few minutes. So I'll click cancel out of there so we don't actually go in and change Jim's stuff. So that's over here, and then I can log out from here as well. No huge need to do that. You can just shut down the browser, but if you want to log out, then there you go. Now on the right hand side, we see a couple of settings bars, and we see some link sections. So let's go through this one at a time. First of all, if I want to add additional tabs up here, I click on this plus button. By clicking on that, navigator item comes up. So what do I want to label that? Find me on Facebook. I can either link it to a page, or I can link it directly to at some sort of an outside link. So in this case, I will link it to Facebook. And then this asks me, where do I want it in the navigation? I want it the first item, or do I want it between search listings and buyers, after sellers, after services, after communities, or at the very end? So it says after, and then I want it, let's say, after buyers. Now this is an important piece right here, open type. So if I click on native, that means that this link is just going to open up in my existing browser window. If I click on new window, then when I click to go to this link, it's actually going to open up in a completely separate tab or a completely separate window, depending on how your browser is set up. Why that's important is if I'm sending somebody to Facebook to connect with me, I still want my site open in the background so they can come back to the site and kind of come back to where they left off and still search for homes and and interact with me there. Okay, so in that case, if I'm sending them to someplace that's not my site, I would click on New Window. I would want them to open up in a new window. If this is just going to another page on my site, then I could go ahead and leave it as native. It opens up where it is. So that's the basics on how to put a Navigator item together. So we'll click Cancel and get out of that. If I would like to add a new navigation item under one of these, I just roll over and I click on New. When I click on New, I get the same thing here. So that would be how to do one underneath buyers. If I wanted to do one between buyers and sellers, I would click over here to this new link. Okay, Jim already has a bunch of pages set up under My Links. So we're going to go and edit one of those pages. To actually start setting up a new page, we go up here and we click on New Page. And that's a new page that can exist anywhere. It doesn't have to be linked underneath these right now. So it would just show up in your drafts. And I have one in there that we already did. But right now, let's just go show you how to modify a page, because the biggest thing that everyone's going to struggle with out the gate is the fact that we pulled over all of the pages from the Agent Achieve system. So there's some old pages you probably haven't looked at for a couple of years that you might want to update and change. And I noticed that Jim did that as well here. The pages we pulled over from Agent Achieve, some were drafts, some were active. They were all showing down this list. He went through, cleaned them up, just took him a day, maybe just a couple of hours, and now they work great on the system, and they're perfect for the proper display. So let's scroll down, click on one of these pages. So Green Valley Office, that's just an embedded map. Let's find one that's actually got some text to it. And the reason I ask is because Jim knows how to put in iframe video, which some people may not know how to do. And so we'll get one that just has some nice text to it. It'll be a little bit simpler to actually edit. And Jim has a lot that are not. All right, so we'll go ahead and use this one right here. So a powerful online suite of tools. And so it's called Powerful Resources. So if I want to edit this page, and I'm already on this page taking a look, I just up here in my options, click on Edit. And once I click on Edit, it tells me this is an iframe. I click anywhere in this window and I get my toolbar. So my toolbar, I can do text, I can continue to type, I can cut and paste from a Word doc or maybe a text field. I can go into my source code, and this is actually where his iframe is. So he's dumped this in via the source. And so I can go into my source button there and do direct some HTML editing or whatever I'd like to from there. But in its simplest form, you can just start typing and then check your style and your format and add some bullets and make a nice simple page. So if I'm done with this page, I would click Save, or in this case, I'm going to click Cancel. So that reloads the browser, and now we're back to just a display of the page. If I totally want to get rid of this page, Powerful Resources, I just hover over the page and then click the little trash can. If I want to edit the page, I click on the little edit button. Okay. Let's say we want to set up a brand new page from scratch, and we just want to play with the page before we publish it. We don't want to publish it yet. So we're up here, we click Options, and we click New Page. We have a couple of predefined layouts that make it pretty easy for you to make a decent looking page. So let's pick this one. What's the name of the page? Another testing page. And we click on Create. So from here, it now gives me these kind of chunked areas, and I can make modifications without having to know anything about the look and feel and tables or how I'm going to make this image over here and this image over here. Everything's ready to go. So I click on Edit, and now I can personalize this page by just typing over things. So as I click this image right here, I just right click and I say Image Properties, and then from there I can define exactly what image this should be. As I scroll down, I can do the same thing here. I can actually say remove this div, and this div is this section of space. And so I can go ahead and remove this, and then this would fly all the way over to the left. And so it gives me different options to even modify pieces in here as well. As I click on pieces here, I just select them and just type right over the top. Same thing with my headers, and everything's well defined. It's just a nice looking simple page, and I can just type over the top of things and make it work. When I'm done, I go up here and I click save. And you can see this used to be 1, now this is 2. This is basically my drafts. So as I hover over that, I see drafts. I click on it, another testing page, that's the page I just created. This is one I did earlier. I can click this to go to that page. And then if I say, okay, this page is good to go, I totally want to publish it, I go down to options. When I'm on this page, so I'm on this page again, I go to options and I go to publish, and it basically asks me where I want the page, and then it makes it live. So the only thing we didn't do on here is edit page attributes. Let me show you that real quick. So when we're in the editing, so I'm in the editing section of this page, and I'm actually clicking over the top of things to be able to make edits. So when we're in the editing section of this page, a new button comes up here called page attributes. So the page attributes would be the title of the page, and by title we mean this little title that comes up, the little title that comes up on the tab of the top of your browser. It's the title of the page. We're also going to use it for the title right here to title the page. So great new page layout. Any keywords you want to put in there for Google. Google doesn't rank keywords anymore, but some people still like to put them in. The description is the actual description that Google will use when it shows this page on a search engine. And so this would be a good marketing style description. This is a great example of the new layouts for VHS Drysdale. View more. Social media title. And a social media description if you link to this. Great, so at that point we would click on save, and then the page will update, and then we click here, we click save, and we've updated the page. So see, great new page layout. So that's our new title for the page. And if you could see the tabs on the top of the browser, it actually says great new page layout. So we go back here, and then we've already saved it. So now if we want to make it live, we just click on publish. And I'm not going to do that because I'm actually on Jim's live site. So we're not going to publish that. We'll just save this as a draft, which we already did. All right, so again, let's go back to the home page. Let's reload the entire page so you can see in case you got lost. And you can always rewind this video if you need to as well. So again, we've got our login state up here to the left. This is where we handle the home picture, but there's some great home pictures in there right now that I would probably just recommend that you leave there for now until you really kind of get used to the system. If you want to add a new link, like between buyers and sellers, a new tab that says my specific services, or maybe it says my specialties, and then have some sub pages. You do that all here. Once you're into the page directory, you use this button right here. Let's open up a page, powerful resources. Actually, let's go here to the drafts page that we haven't done, and we'll open up another testing page. This is our great new page layout. We just did this one. We click on here, we click on publish, or if we want to continue to edit, we continue to edit here. If we want to just see our page attributes, we do them here. If we want to delete the page, we can do that right here. Okay? All right, so that should get you far enough into the web builder to understand what's on the system, how your bio is displayed, your featured and sold properties, the AVM tool that's on your individual site, and then of course being able to modify your existing pages, add new pages, and modify your menu and navigation. Okay, so that's kind of a quick lesson in the web builder. Things like these page layouts will always be part of the system. How you edit will always be part of the system. And then in the next couple of weeks, there'll be a new drop down here that will say Manage Templates. And that will be your ability to flip between 2 or 3 different templates that we'll have preloaded into the system. And then some of those will change around where your branding shows up, above the fold, below the fold, the look and feel of the templates, and that will be ready before the end of the year as you guys kind of get used to this one as well. So we'll be on the ground training more of these next week, but I hope you enjoyed the section on this, and I hope this makes sense to you being able to get through just a little bit and get a good overview of the templates.